And we are live. Let me know, guys. Can you hear me? Okay, there we go. And we're live. Hello, Vampire Site. Oh, let me turn that one off. I can see that we're live on TikTok. Okay, here we go. Hello, Neve. Hello, Pranav. Hello, Adam. Salvador Vampire Site. Kuba, Salvador. Kamikun Ogun Rimi. Hello, Aquafina. Hello, Lincoln New. Hello, Your Faith Gamer. Guys, how is it going? Today is Sunday. Paper 2 is Wednesday, which means we have a couple of days left. I says it's time to cuck. Hassan, hello, good to have you on, mate. I got your message. I'll be replying straight after the stream. I've just been back to back to back. Vishnu said, I woke up early to be here. Come on, good to have you, Vishnu. Things we love to see. Guys, I can hear a door upstairs banging, so I'm just going to turn my camera off and my mic for like... Actually, no, I'll do it in a couple of seconds. I'll do it in a couple of seconds. I want to give people a chance to join so it doesn't look like there's nobody here just now. Hello, Floating. Hello, Has9. Harry says, what's going on, Matt? Good to have you on, my friend. Good to have you on. Guys, I'm warning you. This is a tough paper today. This is a tough paper today. Vampire Side said, I'm not late for once. Good to have you. Good to have you. Let's see what's popping over on the TikTok. Okay, nice to see about 300 of us. A couple of people saying, is this PMT? If you mean physics and maths tutor, nope. Nothing to do with physics and maths tutor. Hello, TM. Hello, Adam. Hello, Amani. Hello, Tabs. Tian Goy says, tough. Come on. Good to have you. Good to have you. Hello, Jake says, good morning. Good morning. Good morning. May says, man like Matt, I'm here. Good to have you, May. Guys, you know the drill. I'm going to give you a little bit of time to answer each of the questions, and then I will go through them in general. The more marks it's worth, the more time I'm going to give you. Today, we have a pretty tough paper. I'm going to set the scene right now, and I'm going to say, guys, this is a tough paper. I'll check the grain boundaries at the end of the session, but I think they're going to be low for it. I'm pretty sure they were low for it. June 2017. Believe it or not, this was actually, was this 2017? I think this was my actual exam, guys. I think this was the exam that I sat. Oh, that's mad. I just realized this. I think this was my exam. Yeah, this was my exam. Neve says, damn, Vampire Site said, really? Yeah, I'm pretty sure it was 2017. Yeah, I did mine in 2017. So yeah, this was my exam, low key. It's a tough one though, I can't lie, guys. It's a tough paper. Aaron Issa said, is the gradient x1 minus x2 over y1 minus y2, or x2 minus x1 over y2 minus y1? It's y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Layla said, ha ha ha, that's funny. Yeah, yeah, guys. I didn't even deep that before the session. Okay, guys, I've just seen the time. It's 5 minutes past. Let's get cooking. If you're new, welcome, welcome. The format is simple. I'll give you a little bit of time to answer each of the questions, and then I will go through the answers. All of these live streams are recorded. They're uploaded straight to the YouTube channel under the live tab. If you're currently watching on the TikTok, welcome. Good to have you on. I focus on the YouTube chat mainly just because it's a little bit easier to manage, and that's the one which is recorded. So if you're currently watching on your phone on TikTok, consider coming over to the channel. I'm probably going to get done dirty in the algorithm for that. But hey ho, that's the game's the game. Okay. Clank says that's crazy. Yeah, you guys can't believe this was my actual exam. Yeah, guys, Neymar. When I look, Neymar, what? I don't know how they thought it would be a good idea to include Neymar in the actual exam paper. It's like a meme or something. Yeah. I opened this paper, I was like, hey, surely what? Neymar? But yeah. A couple of people asking if this is useful for AQA. My answer is absolutely. Absolutely. Is Edexcel exactly the same as AQA? Nope. There are a few tiny differences in the spec. However, it's like 95% similar. The main difference is just the fonts that they use and the layout of the paper makes it feel a little bit different, but really they are very similar. Okay. Clap says Mbappe was in the French exam. Hey, fair play, fair play. Okay, guys, I'm not going to give you long for this question number one. Let's have a look. The question says the table shows the probabilities that a biased dice is going to land on 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6. We're told that Neymar rolls the dice 200 times. We're asked to work out an estimate for the total number of times that it lands on a 1 or a 3. Now, how do we do this? This is essentially kind of a relative frequency question. To work out an estimate for how many times it will land on a 1 or a 3, we need to do the probability of a 1 or a 3 times by the number of times that we roll the dice. So we have the probability of 3, it's 80 as 0.18. How can we work out the probability of 1? Well, we know that all of the probabilities have to add to make 1. So all probabilities always add to make 1. So to find the probability of getting a 1, in this case, we can do 1 minus all of our other probabilities. So minus 0.17, minus 0.18, minus 0.09, minus 0.15, minus 0.1. I'm going to quickly bing all of that into the calculator. 1 minus 0.17 minus 0.18 minus 0.09 minus 0.15 minus 0.1, we're going to get 0.31. So now we have the probability of 1. What's the probability, though, of getting a 1 or a 3? So probability of getting a 1 or a 3. Well, that's going to be the probability of a 1 plus the probability of a 3, because it's one or the other. So we can do 0.31 plus 0.18, and that is going to give us 0.49 as our probability. Now, how do we go from this to the number of times? Well, to work out the expected frequency, we do the probability times by the number of trials. In this case, the probability is 0.49, and we roll the dice 200 times. So we're going to do 0.49 times by 200, 0.49 times by 200, and that is going to give us 98. And that's going to be our answer to this one. Question number one is going to be 98. We did the probabilities together times by our frequency, number of trials. Guys, if you got that one, nicely done. 5 seconds to screenshot. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we're going to move on to question number 2. Guys, the question is starting. Question number 2 with a 5-mark question. Now, there's a couple of different ways to do this. I'm going to give you 3 minutes to think about it, and then I'm going to go through the answer. So we're getting down and dirty right from the start. Down and dirty right from the start. Ja. Intelligent Melon, come on, good to have you on. NK NQKZZ says how many marks for this one? 5 marks up for grabs. For that previous question, it was 3 marks. Mohammed says, so you promised to make me the editor if I arrive this lesson. No, I didn't, my friend. Guys, by the way, if I keep getting like darker and lighter, it's because there's a massive window in front of me and the sun keeps going like in, out, in, out. Okay, guys, my first question to you is this. How many children do we have in total? How many children do we have in total? So let me just write number of children. Let me just read the question properly first. Wait, guys, let me know. Can you hear my music? I'm just gonna go silent for a second. You guys know the drill. I try and keep the music quiet enough so that nobody can hear it because of the copyright. I'm gonna go silent for a second. Can you let me know in the chat? Can you hear the music? And you'd have to turn the volume up to max volume. Thank you, Intelligent Melon. Thank you, Somi. Thank you for the tip you gave me with the Spotify, Somi, as well. Okay, beautiful, guys. Looking like we can't hear it. Fantastic. Thank you very much. Thank you, thank you. Thank you, Ibby. Thank you, Neve. Thank you, SW. Thank you, guys, very much. Okay, so let's get it done. Or let's start with this question. It says, on Saturday, some adults and some children were in a theatre. The ratio of the number of adults to the number of children was 5-2. Each person had a seat in the circle or a seat in the stalls. 3/4 of the children had a seat in the stalls. 117 of the children had a seat in the circle. There are exactly 2,600 seats in the theatre. On Saturday, were there people on more than 60% of the seats? You must show how you get your answer. What we're going to have to do, guys, is work out the total number of people in the theatre. Step number 1, we can work out the total number of children in the theatre. How are we going to do that? Well, we know that 3/4 of them had seats in the stalls. That means that 1/4 of them, so 1/4 of, let me just move that up there a bit. 1/4 of the children were in the circle. Now, how can that be useful? Well, that tells us 117 children is 1/4 of the total number of children. So to go from 1/4 of the number of children to the total number of children, we can do that 117, which represents 1/4, times by 4, times by 4. And that's going to be the total number of children. Okay. Nicely done, Vampire Site. Now we've got the total number of children. Where can we go from there? Oh, a couple of people saying I missed a donation. Oh, thank you for the donation, whoever did one. Okay, so now we have the total number of children. We can work out the total number of adults. How do we work out the total number of adults? Well, we know that the ratio of the adults to the children was 5-2. We can divide our total, so we can work out one part of the ratio. So one part of the ratio is going to be 468 divided by 2. So we can work out the total number of adults by doing one part of our ratio, which is going to be 234. And then scaling it up to find 5 parts of the ratio, we can do 5 times by this, 5 times by our 234. And that is going to give us the total number of adults of 1,170. 1,170. So that is going to be our total number of adults. Nicely done, Pranav. Nicely done, Yan. Nicely done, SW. Yeah, beautiful. So now we have the total number of children, 468. We also have the total number of adults, 1,170. How do we find the total number of people in the theatre? Well, we can do the number of children, 468, plus the number of adults, 1,170. So total number of people is going to be our 468 children plus our 1,170 adults. So we do 468 plus 1,170, and that is going to give us 1,638 people in total. Nicely done, Pranav. Nicely done, Jan. Okay. Where do we go from there? Well, we need to work out whether there's more than 60% of the seats filled. So we can work out the number of seats that were filled, 1,638, as a percentage of the total number of seats, 2,600. So how do we work out 1,638 as a percentage of 2,600? We can do our 1,638 divided by our 2,600 times by 100 to convert it into a percentage. So we're going to divide this by 2,600, and then we're going to times by 100, and we're going to get 63% as our answer. So were there people on more than 60% of the seats? Yes, there were. Why? Because we had 63% filled. Okay, guys, talk to me in the chat. How did we find that one? Did that one make sense? I know I explained it in a little bit of a disjointed way. That's just because I wanted to give people time between the steps to try and think about how to do it. Lincoln Yu says, yep, got it. Nice. Pranav says, W. Was there anybody who didn't get it but understands it now? Guys, let me know. Intelligent Melon said, could I said 1,638 is greater than 1,560? So the answer is yes. Absolutely, you could. Let me just double check the logic there. 0.6 times 2,600. Yeah, perfect logic, Intelligent Melon. Really good, really good. Nicely done, Vampire Sight. Nice to see a lot of the regulars here. Thank you, TGVR, as well. Guys, let's move on now to question number 3. This one, we will skip just because you need the paper printed out to do it. And we're going to move on to question number 4. This paper is pretty brutal, guys. In fact, let me know in the chat. Would you like me to do question 3 or should we skip it? I'm just going to set up a quick poll. Start poll. Shall I do Q3? Yes or skip? Okay. I'll set up a poll, guys. Have your votes for me. In the meantime, have a read of question number 4. Okay, pretty much everybody's saying to do it. Okay, let's see. There's been 100 votes so far. Okay, guys, we're going to do it. If you don't want me to do it then, take a screenshot of this and you can start working on this one now. But otherwise, I'll just go through this one very quickly. To be fair, it won't take long. So the question says the diagram shows a prism with a cross section in the shape of a trapezium. Okay. And then it says on the centimeter grid below, draw the front elevation and the side elevation of the prism. Use a scale of 2 centimeters to 1 meter. Okay, so what are we going to do? Well, we're going to need to draw this shape, looking at it from the front and then looking at it from the side. Looking at it from the front, what are we going to see? Well, we can see that we have a height of 2 meters, then we slope downwards to a height of 0.5 meter, and we have an overall width of 2 meters as well. Now, how are we going to draw this on our grid? Well, we know that 2 centimeters is 1 meter on the grid. So we're going to scale this up or down basically to work out how many centimeters we need for our 2 meter height and our 2 meter width. Guys, let me know in the chat, how many centimeters are we going to need for the 2 meter height and the 2 meter width? Pranav's got an answer in there. Intelligent Melon said, don't forget to like the stream, guys. Yeah, good Grace, good Adam, good Neve. Yeah, guys, absolutely. It's 4 centimeters. It's 4 centimeters. And the reason is because if 1 meter is 2 centimeters, to work out 2 meters, we're going to need to times this by 2. So we times the number of centimeters by 2. So this is 4 centimeters as well. And what would this 0.5 meters be? Guys, let me know in the chat for this one. How many centimeters would this 0.5 meters be? How many centimeters would this 0.5 meters be? Jacob says 1, Goat 1, Lou 1, Lincoln U 1, Ali 1, Pranav 1, Somi 1. Yeah, good guys, 1 centimeter. The reason for that is because how do we go from 1 meter to half a meter? We halve it, so we have to halve the number of centimeters. So now we can draw our shape. We know it's going to have to be 4 centimeters up. So I'm going to draw 4 centimeters up. We know it's going to be 4 centimeters across. So I'm going to draw 4 centimeters across. We know it's going to be 1 centimeter up on the right-hand side. And then we know we're going to have to join these two together. And we're going to have our shape like that. So we said it's 4 centimeters like that, 4 centimeters like that, and 1 centimeter like that. Now, what about the side view? 1 meter. So this is going to be 2 centimeters. We know this height is 1 centimeter from before. And we know the overall height is going to be 4 centimeters still, because if you think about it looking from the side, you're not actually going to see this slant. You're just going to see the overall height. So again, we're going to have a width. Oh no, this time, sorry, we're going to have a width of 2 centimeters. This was 1 centimeter up, so we're going to have a little ledge, or kind of a, well, let me just make that a little bit neater. A ledge which is 1 centimeter up, like so. And then we're going to need to go 3 centimeters higher for our overall height. We're going to go bosh, we're going to go bosh, and we're going to go bosh. And that's 2 centimeters and 4 centimeters tall again. Okay, hopefully that one made sense, guys. Went with the majority there who did want me to go through it. Let's move on now to question number 4. Now, this is a 4 marker. I would say I'm going to actually just put the link, because I forgot to do that, the review link. There we go. Pranav says bish bash bosh. Come on. So yeah, quite a long question this actually, guys. Quite a long question. Who was it that did the donation? I'm just gonna say thank you quickly. Fan funding. Can I see that? Oh yeah, thank you TGVR. I appreciate that very much. Very much. Question number 4. Thank you, Lincoln New. SW says, no man, just draw a table, please. This question is always solved with a table. You do not need to draw a table here, guys. You do not need to draw a table. You can do it with a table. Personally, I think it actually makes it more complicated. Question 4. Ollie drove 56 kilometers from Liverpool to Manchester. He then drove 61 kilometers from Manchester to Sheffield. So we know this is going to be in 2 stages already. So we're going to have Liverpool to Manchester. Don't worry, I'm going to give you guys another couple of minutes. I'm just going to set it up for us. So we're going to have this stage. And we know that we're going to have the Manchester to Sheffield stage. Okay. We're told that Ollie's average speed from Liverpool to Manchester was 70 kilometers per hour. And Ollie took 75 minutes to drive from Manchester to Sheffield. We're asked to work out Ollie's average speed for his total drive. Guys, we're going to have to use our speed, distance, and time equation, or we can think of it as our nice triangle, which I'm going to draw out pretty big up here. What does a triangle look like? We have speed, we have distance, and we have time. So, in order to work out our average speed for the total trip, we're going to need to do our total distance divided by our total time. So I'm just going to write that down here as well. So average speed equals total distance divide by total time. So average speed is total distance divided by total time. I'm going to give another minute or so, guys, and then we'll go through this one. Okay, let's start thinking about Liverpool to Manchester then. Well, we know that for Liverpool to Manchester, our distance is 56 kilometers. So our distance is 56 kilometers. We also know from Liverpool to Manchester, our speed was 70 kilometers per hour. So we can work out our time. How do we work out our time if we have our distance and our speed? Well, because time is on the bottom right, we cover it up. Time is equal to distance on the top divided by speed on the bottom. So we can work out our time in hours. It's going to be our distance of 56 divided by our time of 70. We type that into the calculator, 56 divided 70, and that is going to be 4/5. So 4/5 hours. So now for Liverpool to Manchester, we have our distance and we have our time. What about Manchester to Sheffield? Well, Manchester to Sheffield, we know that the distance is 61 kilometers. We also know that the time, so Ollie took 75 minutes to drive Manchester to Sheffield. So we know the time is 75 minutes. But we can see that we have a bit of an issue because our answer is in kilometers per hour. Our time over here is in hours. Our time over here is in minutes. So we're going to convert this into hours. How do we go from minutes to hours? Well, there are 60 minutes in an hour. So we're going to divide by 60. So we're going to do 75 over 60. That's going to be 1.25 hours. So now we have enough information to work out our average speed. How? Well, our average speed is going to be our total distance divided by our total time. Our total distance is going to be 56 plus 61. And our total time, we have 4/8 hours here, which I can rewrite if I want as 0.8 hours. You could do that on the calculator. Or we could have left it as a fraction. But the total time is going to be 0.8 hours. Oh, let me go back to orange actually. 0.8 hours plus 1.25. Now we have something we can type into a calculator. Going to put this in, 56 plus 61 on the top, and on the bottom, it's going to be 2.05. And what do we get as our answer? We get 57.1. Or we get 57.07, etc., which it doesn't say what to round it to, so I'm just going to round it to one decimal place. It's going to be 57.1 to one decimal place. Guys, let me know in the chat, did we get that one? Okay, guys, I don't know if you can tell, by the way, but my throat is very sore. And I also keep touching my nose because my hay fever is playing up so much. Good job. Aisha got it. Jay got it. Good work. Somi, nice work. Noah got it. Good work. Jake Waite said super hard. Yeah, honestly, that one is pretty hard. Neve got it. Yeah, Ben, lie down. I have taken a hay fever tablet. It's so annoying, eh? At least you guys know if you're going through it. I can empathize. I'm going through it as well. Okay, next up, it says a couple of people saying is 57 okay? Yeah, 57 is okay. Let's have a look. The next question says Janny drove from Barnsley to York. Janny's average speed from Barnsley to Leeds was 80. Her average speed from Leeds to York was 60. Janny says that the average speed from Barnsley to York can be found by working out the mean of 80 to 60. If Janny is correct, what does this tell you about the two parts of Janny's journey? What do you reckon, guys? Aaron says, I've got the hay fever, not the answer. What do we reckon, guys? What does it tell you about the two parts of Janny's journey? Mirage says, I hate worded questions. Yeah. I know a lot of people hate the worded questions. Hassan says, so long-winded for 1 mark. Completely agree, guys. This paper's nasty, honestly. Guys, what it means is that our time has to be the same. The times have to be the same. Now, why do the times have to be the same? The times have to be the same because in order for your speed to average out to be the exact halfway between the two speeds, so halfway between the 80 and the 60, you have to have the same amount of weight being given to the 80 as you have being given to the 60. Now, the only way you can do that is if you travel both of the speeds for the same amount of time. A couple of people are saying the distance has to be the same. It can't be the distance. The reason is because if the distance was the same, then you're going to spend less time traveling at 80 kilometers per hour than you are at 60, because that 60 is going to take longer to do that given amount of distance. So yeah, the times have to be the same. Okay, moving on now to question number 5. 2 marks up for grabs in this one. Again, it's a little bit nasty, to be honest. It's not the most straightforward. I will give you a hint in about 30 seconds. Bobby Copperfield says, I'm not reading all that. It's getting skipped. Fair play, Bobby. You got to do what you got to do. You got to do what you got to do. Question number 5. Neve says, if I'm seeing a triangle on question 5, I'm crying. Oh, bless you. Triangles do come up quite a lot in this part of the paper. I will say that much. Noah said, love the playlist, Matt. Thank you so much. Hey, my pleasure. The playlist has had a lot of good reviews, actually. A lot of good reviews. For anybody who doesn't know, I dropped the My GCSE Maths playlist yesterday, day before yesterday. No, a few days ago, actually. It's mainly an Afro beats playlist. Okay. Question number 5. Let me know in the chat when you're ready, team. Reese says similar shapes. That's the hint that I was going to say. This topic is similar shapes. Okay, Noah's ready. TJ's ready. Okay, guys, let's get going. What are we going to do? The question says that ABC and EDC are straight lines. We're told that EA is parallel to DB. So EA is parallel to DB. We're told that E to C is 8.1 centimeters. So I'm going to try and draw a horizontal line. It's quite hard on here. There we go. 8.1 centimeters. We're told that D to C is 5.4. So this one here is 5.4. We're told that D to B is 2.6. So this one here is 2.6, okay. And we're asked to work out the length of A to E, which is this length here. Let's call it X. Guys, how are we going to do it? The first thing to recognize is that in this question, we have 2 similar triangles. We have the smaller triangle, DBC, and we have the larger triangle, EAC. So we have 2 triangles which are similar. What does similar mean? It means they're the same shape, but different sizes. So same angles, different sizes. Now, how do we know this? We know this because A to E and D to B are parallel, and DBC is exactly inside of EAC. So we know it because they're parallel, and it's exactly inside of it. Now, how's that going to help as well? We can use our information about E to C and D to C to work out the scale factor. How many times bigger are the sides of the big triangle than the small triangle? Well, this side is 8.1, this side is 5.4. So to work out our scale factor, we can do the bigger side divided by the smaller side. 8.1 over 5.4, I think that's going to be 1.5. Yep, perfect, 1.5. Now that we know our scale factor, we can multiply the corresponding side length on the smaller triangle by our scale factor. So we can times the 2.6 by 1.5, and there we go. So I'm going to come in here, 2.6 times 1.5. It's going to be 3.9. Let me just double check that on the calculator. Yep, beautiful. 3.9. So there we used our similar shapes. Well done, Wahida. Well done, guy with no face. Well done, Zero, Yan. Guys, if you got that one, really nicely done. Really nicely done. Okay. Part B. It says A to C is 6.15, and we need to work out the length of A to B. Okay, A to C is 6.15. So A to C, oh, let me just go a bit straighter for that. So A to C, (6.15). We need to work out A to B. How are we going to do it? Well, step number one, we know that the larger side is 6.15, so we can work out the corresponding side length on the smaller triangle by dividing that by our scale factor, because the 6.15 is on the bigger triangle, so we can work out this side length here by doing our 6.15 divided by our scale factor. I'm going to do that on the calculator. We're going to get 4.1. Now to work out AB, which is what we actually want, we can do our larger side of 6.15. Let's switch back to blue. So we can do our larger side of 6.15 minus this smaller one of 4.1. That's going to work out AB. So 6.15 minus 4.1. We're going to get 2.05 as our answer. Guys, talk to me, talk to me. Did we get that one? And if you didn't get it, please let me know in the chat now. Did it make sense? What on Mina? What on Yucko? What on Vampire Sight? Charlie Boy? Guys, well done. Well done. Well done. Was there anybody who didn't get it, but it makes sense for now? Let me know in the chat. Okay. We're going to move on to question number 6. 3 marks for this one. Jay said it makes sense now. Fantastic. Good work, K Show. Oh, your fave gamer. Thank you, Sigma Alpha Matt. The stuff you guys come out with. I was actually, guys, let me know in the chat. Actually, obviously focus on the question, but if you're not going to do it, let me know. I was doing some tutoring the other day actually, and I said to the guy like, you know, is there anything like that goes wrong during the streams or anything you think I should change or whatever? He said sometimes I'm doing a question or I'm just doing the stream and I just randomly burst into laughter. And I don't say what I'm laughing at. I thought like, yeah, I probably do that actually. Like I'm reading the chat, like I read something funny that I wouldn't say, like that Sigma Alpha thing, and then I just burst into laughter because it's funny, and then I don't say it, and you guys are like, "What's this dude laughing at?" I don't know if that's a thing that you guys have noticed. Okay. Let's keep it cool in the chat, guys. Otherwise, I'm going to mute people. Vampire Side said, lol, yeah. Neve said, yeah, man, you do just laugh. Yeah. Okay. Question 6. Question 6. Drop ready in the chat for me when you're ready, and we'll go through it. I can see a few answers going in the chat. A few people saying secure bank. Okay, I'm just going to mute bend over quickly. Actually, just block, actually. Okay, there we go. No, no worries, Neve. You weren't the one doing it. Okay, quite a few people saying ready. Let's get it done. Question number 6 says, Anil wants to invest £25,000 for 3 years in a bank. we can see that we have compound interest. So straight away, I'm thinking of my compound interest formula that our amount A is equal to our initial amount times 1 plus R, our interest rate as a decimal raised to the power of t. Now, those of you who have been joining a lot of the live streams will know questions like this have come up in so many of the papers. I feel like I'm always doing these compound interest questions. They come up all the time. So, which bank is going to give Anil the most interest at the end of the 3 years? So let's work out personal bank first of all. So personal bank. Well, how do we work it out? Here we have compound interest of 2% for each year. We need to work out our initial amount. Well, that's going to be 25,000 because that's how much he invests. So we're going to do our end amount is equal to 25,000 times by 1 plus our interest rate as a decimal. So we're going to convert 2% into a decimal. We're going to divide it by 100 on the calculator. That's going to give us 0.02. And we're going to raise to the number of time periods. We have it for 3 years. So the number of time periods is 3. So 25,000 times 1.02 to the power of 3. We're going to have 26,530.2. And I'll put the 0 on the end because we're dealing in pounds. So that's the amount for personal bank. Now, what about for secure bank? Well, we have the same amount of money going in, 25,000. But this time we have 4.3% for the first year and 0.9% for each extra year. So 4.3% as a decimal is going to be 0.043. We divide it by 100. And 0.9% as a decimal, again, we divide it by 100. It's going to be 0.009. 0.009. So 4.3% for the first year. So for 1 year, we're going to have 1 plus 0.043. And then because that's 1 year, we can raise it to the power of 1. Or because any number to the power of 1 is just itself, we could write it with no power. And then we're going to times that by our 0.9% for each extra year. Well, that's going to be 2 years because it's 3 years in total. So 1 plus 0.009 raised to the power of 2. Going to type this into the calculator. 25,000 times 1.043 times 1.009 to the power of 2. We type that into the calculator. We're going to get 26,546.46 as our answer. So which one's the better option? Well, which bank gives the most interest at the end of 3 years? This one is going to give £530. This one is going to give 546. So secure bank is better. Okay. Nicely done. If you got that one, guys, I'm going to give you 5 seconds to screenshot. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we're going to move on to question number 7. It says a number n is rounded to 2 decimal places. The result is 7.46. Using inequalities, write down an error interval for 4.76, or for n actually. Guys, I'm going to sneeze. Oh, excuse me. This hay fever's dirty, man. It's rough out here if you guys have got hay fever. Thank you, Plays. Thank you, Neve. Thank you, Lincoln Youth. Thank you, Vampire Sight. Thank you, Ali. Thank you, Abdullah. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Jupy. Thank you, Coob. Thank you, Donzi. Oh, you guys are so kind, man. Yeah, interesting, Adam Osmani. So for that previous one, the reason that you don't have to work it out is because they started with the same amount. So because they started with the same amount, Adam, you can just work out the difference, and that's it. Or you can just work out the end amount, and it'll give you the answer. Um, that was kind of why I did that little underlining thing. Okay, for this one, guys, what are we going to do? Well, we're going to write an n in the middle. We're going to write less than or equal to on the right, and less than on the left, and less than on the right. Now, what's it going to be? The cheat way to do this is to just put a 5 on the end to work out the upper bound. And to work out the lower bound, you take one off the number. So take one off the 6 on the end and just put a 5 on the end as well. So 4.7, turn the 6 into a 5, and we do 5, 5. The logic there is, before it was rounded, what could this have been? Well, 4.76 is here, 4.77 is here, 4.75 is here. We need halfway between these two and halfway between these two. This is the smallest possible number that would round up, and 4.7649999 is the biggest possible number that would round down. That's why we don't have the or equal to here. I'm not going to explain that in too much detail here, but if you do want to go through it, there's a bunch of good videos on YouTube. Okay, we'll do this one quickly. I'll just go through it because I know it's a bit awkward. The question says, the cumulative frequency graph shows some information about the heights in centimeters of 60 students. Work out an estimate for the number of students with a height greater than 160 centimeters. What we're going to do is we're going to work out where 160 centimeters is on our cumulative frequency graph. So we're going to draw a line up from 160. Then we're going to draw across to our frequency. We can see that there's 10 boxes between 40 and 50, which means that each box is worth 1. And we can see that our line crosses 2 below the 50, so it crosses at 48. The question says, how many have a height greater than 160? Well, it's going to be everybody between the 48th person and the 60th person. So we're going to do 60 minus 48 to find the difference. It's going to give us 12. It's going to give us 12. If you got that one, nicely done. Good job, Jupi, Aisha, Donzi, Yan, Jay. Great work, guys. Great work. Ben says, is there a degree of accuracy for these? There is, Ben. This one we're going to skip, guys, definitely, because it's very awkward on the paper. We will do this one. We will do this one. Question 10. Okay, guys, I'm going to very quickly mute my mic and run upstairs and close the door because it keeps banging. And I'm going to turn my camera off as well. So I'm going to be gone for 30 seconds, and then I'll be back to go through this question. Chuck, chuck. There we go. We're back. Pranav said, jump scare. Okay, Mohammed, please stop asking to be a moderator. Otherwise, I'm going to have to mute you, mate. Okay, let's see. Question 10. Part A, write down the name of the planet with the greatest mass. What do we think it is, guys? The planet with the greatest mass. Well, we can see the mass column over here. We can see that we have them all in standard form. So simply, if there's one with the biggest power, it's going to be the one with the biggest power. We can see Jupiter has 27, the rest are less than that. So Jupiter is going to be our biggest. The reason is because it had the biggest power on the 10. Next up, find the difference between the mass of Venus, and the mass of Mercury, So we're going to do the mass of Venus minus the mass of Mercury, and we're just going to type this into the calculator and see what it gives us. 4.869 times 10 to the 24 minus Mercury, 3.302 times 10 to the power of 23. I'm going to type that into the calculator. 4.869 times 10 to the power of 24 minus 3.302 times 10 to the power of 23. And on the calculator, it says 4.5388 times 10 to the power of 24 times 10 to the power of 24. Nicely done, Beats. Nicely done, Noah. Yeah, good work. Good work. Okay, final part. Nishat says, what a name. Nishat says that Neptune is over 100 times further away from Earth than Venus is. So Neptune, 4.35 times 10 to the 9. And Venus, that was Neptune. And was it Neptune and Venus? Yeah. Did I write that wrong? Ah, guys, actually, I wrote it wrong. Didn't mean that. Oh, yeah, no, I did. So 100 times further away from Earth. So, yeah, Neptune, 4.35 times 10 to the 9. Venus, 4.14 times 10 to the 7. What do we reckon, guys? Is it over 100 times? How are we going to work this out? How are we going to work this out? I'm going to sneeze. No, I'm not. Maybe I am. Oh, you guys are out watching me suffering, sneezing. Okay. Oh, what do we think, guys? Okay, let's see. How are we going to do it? Well, to work out if it's over 100 times, we can divide one by the other. And that's going to tell us how many times bigger it is, right? So we can actually do on the calculator 4.35 times 10 to the 9 divided by 4.14 times 10 to the 7. If we type that into the calculator, let's see what we get. So fraction 4.35 times 10 to the power of 9 over 4.14 times 10 to the power of 7. We're going to get 105.07, etc. So yes, it is over 100 times bigger. Vishnu said Kleenex sponsor. Oh, if my first sponsor was Kleenex, that would be a bit disappointing. I mean, I would take it if Kleenex are watching, guys. I'd love some tissues. Um, okay, guys, let's move on. Question number 11. 4 marks for this one. Quite a long one. Let me just quickly check how many questions are in this paper. Oh, quite a long one. How are we doing on time? Okay, 23. Maybe I'll speed run a few questions. I'm not going to speed run this one though, because it's a good one for you guys to practice. So solve this equation. What do we think, team? What do we think? Oh, did you have questions like this already? Last paper? I've seen all the papers, but to be honest, I've done so many papers I can't remember all of the different questions. Was there one similar to this in the last in paper 1? Okay, everyone's saying no, there wasn't one. Okay. Hey, Issa, but good to have you. Okay, guys, let's go through it then. Let's go through it. We're going to go through it. Okay, Q11. Drop ready in the chat for me when you're ready, team. Thank you, Samra, who just left the review. I appreciate that very much. Just going to have a quick check-in on TikTok. Okay, beautiful. Okay, guys. Anybody got an answer? I can see quite a few people are saying ready. Let's get going. Let's get going. Because I think those of you who are going to get this probably have already got it. So the question says to solve 3x minus 2 over 4 minus 2x plus 5 over 3 equals 1 minus x over 6. we can see that we have a solving equations question here where we have three separate fractions. Now, how do we add and subtract fractions, or how do we simplify equations with fractions? We need to write them all over a common denominator. So that's one way of doing this. We could write them all over a common denominator. We could write them all over 12. So we would say, okay, what do I times the first fraction by to get 12 on the top and the bottom, etc. Should we go through it that way? Yeah, let's do it that way. So we're going to write all of these at the start as fractions over 12. So rewrite all over 12. Why am I doing that? So rewrite all over 12. So how do we rewrite this first one over 12? We're going to times the top and the bottom of the fraction, both by 3, because we currently have a 4 on the bottom. We want a 12 on the bottom. So we're going to do 3 times 3x minus 2 over 12. Now we're going to rewrite this next one as a fraction over 12. How do we go from a 3 on the bottom? Don't know why I wrote 4. I know why I wrote 4, but how do we go from 3 on the bottom to a 12 on the bottom? We times it by 4. So we're going to times the top by 4. 4 times 2x plus 5. Now on the right-hand side, how do we go from a 6 on the bottom to a 12 on the bottom? We times it by 2. So we do 2 times 1 minus x. Next step, what can we do? Well, now that we've done this, we can actually multiply both sides of our equation, and therefore every term, by 12. And that's going to cancel out all of these denominators. So because this is an equation, we can just times everything through by 12. That's going to cancel out the denominators. We're going to be left with 3 times 3x minus 2 minus 4 times 2x plus 5 equals 2 times 1 minus x. Now we're just going to rearrange and solve for x. So step number 1, let's expand our brackets. We're going to have 9x minus 6. And then minus 4 times 2x is minus 8x. Minus 4 times 5 is going to be minus 20. That's going to be equal to 2 times 1 is 2. 2 times minus x is minus 2x. Next step, we're going to collect our like terms. 9x minus 8x is 1x, so we have x minus. Minus 6 minus 20 is minus 26 equals 2 minus 2x. Next step, let's add 2x to both sides to get all of the x's on the left-hand side. And have 3x minus 26 equals 2. Next step, let's add 26 to both sides. We're going to have 3x equals 28. Next step, let's divide both sides by 3. We're going to get x equals 28 over 3. And that is going to be our answer. Okay, guys, 5 seconds to screenshot this one. And let me know of any questions, actually. Also, anybody who didn't get that but understands it now, let me know in the chat. Let me know in the chat. I'd love to know. Tess said, what's this topic called? It's a mixture of solving equations and I would say algebraic fractions. God's Grace said, I get it now. K Show says, oh, makes sense now. Hey, fantastic, fantastic. That, guys, is the sweet, sweet sound of progress. Okay. Hazard said, why don't you multiply the brackets? So we did multiply when we expanded the brackets there. That's how we expanded them. Go Dominic said, yeah, this actually helped. Thanks. Hey, my pleasure. Great to hear, guys. Great to hear. Okay, 5 seconds to screenshot. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. And we're going to move on to question number 12, which we're going to go through fairly quickly because it's a 1 marker and then another 1 marker. So the question says there are 30 students in Mr. Lear's class. 16 of the students are boys. 2 students are chosen at random. Mr. Lear draws his probability tree diagram. What's wrong with his probabilities? What's wrong with his probabilities? What do we reckon, team? Okay, Clap says second option should be 29. G-Cow said the same thing. Yep, good, well done. Well done, Hassan. Good work, mate. Pranav said, Mr. Lid, tut tut, come on. A bit of little bit of dominance reversal. Okay, what's it gonna be? Write down one thing that is wrong with the probabilities. Well, guys, after we've chosen the first person, what happens to the total number? It should decrease to 29. Oh, 2, 29. So this should be 29, this should be 29 instead of 30, 29 and 29. So that's the mistake. The reason is because after we've taken the first person out, there's no longer 30 people to choose from. There's only 29. Okay, part B. This one says that Owen and Wasim play for the school football team. The probability that Owen will score a goal in the next match is 0.4. The probability that Wasim will score a goal in the next match is 0.25. Mr. Slater says the probability that both boys will score a goal in the next match is 0.4 plus 0.25. Is Mr. Slater right? Give a reason for your answer. Okay, quite a few people saying nope. Yeah, good work, guys. Good work. Yeah, good. Nicely done. If you said you have to times instead of add, you're absolutely right. So what's the rule? The probability that both boys, so both means and when it's one thing and another thing, we have to multiply the probabilities. Okay, really nicely done, guys. Really nicely done. He said, why do you keep saying come on to people in the chat? I think it's just a habit. I think it's just a habit. Oh, guys, I'm going to ask you that actually. What phrases do I say all the time? Because I think I probably do have a habit of repeating the same thing. Okay, question 13. This one's quite tough, honestly. I'll give you a bit of time to go through it. It says, the histogram shows information about the ages of 134 members of a sports club. And then we're asked to, and then it says, sorry, 20% of the members of the sports club who are over the age of 50 are female. Work out an estimate for the number of female members who are over the age of 50. Okay, looking at the chat, let's see. I can see a lot of people saying the. Okay, let's see. Make sure you focus on this question though; it's an important one. Um, come on! I say Bosch. I keep saying Bosch as well. Oh, guys, I think it's just a habit. I don't even know that I say it. Vampire Sight said, "All right, all right, all right." Pumpkin said, "Come on, guys, come on." Lightning McQueen. I don't think I've said that ever. Okay, people saying my laugh. Let's see and ha 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 ha. Yeah, maybe I do just do a lot of laughing as well. Just spreading good vibes, you know, guys. People saying posh laugh. I definitely don't have a posh laugh. Um, I don't even say laugh. See, if I said laugh, then you'd have some grounds to say it, but I'm from right in the middle of the country. Okay, question 13. What do we think, guys? Shall I go through it? Jake said, great vibes, keep it up. That's the reason I watch you. You'll laugh. Yeah, Beats has been on a lot. Don says you should get a taper fade. No thanks, mate. No thanks. Okay, question 13. Imitaz Ahmed says, did you go to a private grammar school? No, guys, I went to a public school, and my school was actually in special measures. So when I was doing my GCSEs, my school got like reported to Ofsted for being like below the minimum possible standard, and it almost got shut down. Actually, they were going to shut it down, but then a different like academy took over or something. But yeah, definitely not private school. Okay, guys. Jupi said public school is the same as private. No, it's not in the UK. Public is free school. Okay. Question 13. Let's get it done. I know a lot of you guys have done this. Let's have a look. Let me just get the zoom right. Is that better? Yeah, there we go. So the histogram shows some information about the ages of 134 people in a sports club. 20% of the people over 50 are female. Work out an estimate for the number of female members who are over 50 years old. How are we going to do it? Well, we can work out the total number of people if we want to. To work out the frequencies from a histogram, we would do the frequency density times by the age. In other words, the frequency is just given by the area. So one way to do this would be to work it out by working out all of the areas, but we don't actually need to. We only need the people who are over 50 years of age. So the 50 is going to be halfway between the 40 and the 60. So I can draw a line down there. And I'm going to work out these frequencies and then find 20% of it. So what are we going to have? This is 50, halfway between the 40 and the 60. So it has a width of 10. And what's the height? Well, it goes up to, we can see 2 boxes below the 1.5. There's 10 boxes below the 1 and the 1.5. So each box is 0.05. So 2 boxes is going to be 0.1. So it's going to go up to 1.4. So the height is 1.4. So working out the frequency then, it's going to be 1.4 times 10, which is going to be 14. Now doing the same thing for this one, we can read across. Frequency density is 0.7. The width, we go from 60 to 80. Halfway between 80 and 100 is going to be 90. So the width of this is 30. So we can do 30 times 0.7 is 21. So the total above 50, so total above 50 is going to be the 14 plus the 21, the two areas added together. It's going to be 35. Now we need to find 20% of these. So we're going to do 0.2 times by 35. That is going to give us 4. No, it's not. It's going to give us 7. It's going to give us 7. Let me just double check on the calculator. No silly mistakes. 0.2 times 35. Yeah, beautiful. There we go. 7. Guys, great work if you got that one. Pretty tough question. Histograms is one of the least popular topics. Okay, let's move on to question 14. And we're going to do this one together, team. We're going to do this one together. So we're going to start off with y equals sine x. This is one of our graph matching questions. Which one of the graphs is y equals sine x? I'm going to put all of them on there. Just a sec. So y equals sine x. Which graph is it going to be? A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, I. Neve loves these ones. Okay, guys, you know this. Good work. Good job, Mohammed. Good job, Ari. Good job, Logesh, Victoria, Alina. Yeah, good work, guys. It's C. So sine x is going to be C. Our sine curve goes up to 1, goes down to -1, is shaped like a wave, and it has a key point every 90 degrees. So that's a little bit of extra revision for you. But yeah, that's the sine curve. So that can go with C. What about y equals x cubed plus 4x? Y equals x cubed plus 4x. What do we think, team? Is it A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, or I? Nicely done. Good job, Greg. God Grace, Victoria, Shri Krishna, Lincoln U, Vishnu. Yeah, guys, you're right. It is y equals x cubed. It is f, sorry. And the reason that it's f is because our general shape of a cubic is either like this if it has different roots, or in the case where it has repeated roots, is like this. Good work. So that's a cubic graph f. Next up, 2 to the power of x, our exponential curve. Which one is 2 to the power of x? A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, or I? Oli MT says A, J says A. Yeah, lots of people saying A. Good job, guys. Good job. So it is going to be A. And crucially, what's our y-intercept? Does anybody know what the y-intercept is for this? Drop it in the chat. What's the y-intercept? Pranav says 1. Lincoln U 1. Yeah, good job, guys. Good job. It's 1. Nice. Victoria beats. Yeah, great work. The reason that it's 1, how do we find the y-intercept? We find the value of y when x is equal to 0. When x is equal to 0, 2 to the power of 0 gives 1. Gives 1. Okay. So that was A. Finally, 4 over x. Which one is it, guys? 4 over x. What's it going to be? 4 over x. Yeah, nice, NJ. I knew I thought I might repeat that one. Yeah, good work, everybody. Yeah, fantastic work. Good job, Jay, Rahan, QDG, Donzi, Alina. Yeah, great work, guys. It's 4 over x. Nicely done. Sorry, it's h. Nicely done. The reason is because this is our reciprocal graph. Again, it's one that we just memorized. When the x is on the bottom, we draw the curves like this. Okay, moving on. We're going to do question number 15. Okay, this one is pretty tricky. Definitely give this a go. Question 15. And after this, we're going to have our little halfway pause. Probably 5-minute break or so. Yeah, probably 5-minute break. I'm going to answer a few questions, let you guys get a glass of water. I'm going to rest my voice a little bit because I need it to be in good form for you guys tomorrow night and Tuesday. And I'm also going to ask people to drop a quick review if you haven't already. We're close to getting to 1,000 views, which is, I'd say that's the goal. Before the end of exams. Trending Chill says bada bing, bada boom. Mr. Worldwide as I step in the room. Me singing is definitely something you guys don't want to hear. I'm not going to speed up. I'll actually run a poll during the break actually, and see if people want me to speed up. But in general, I think people are going to probably like the pace it's running at. Normally, this is about the pace that people like. Okay. Question 15. A, B, C, D are points on the circumference of a circle. AEC, so AEC and BED are straight lines. Prove that triangle ABE and DCE are similar. So this one here, DCE, oh, let me just get my pen back. DCE, so this one here, and this one here, we need to show that they're similar. Now, what do we know if they're similar? If they're similar, then all 3 of the angles have to be the same. So all 3 angles must be the same. So this is what we're going to try and show. How are we going to do it? Well, first off, we can work with these angles here, AEB and DEC. They're going to be the same. Why are they going to be the same? They're going to be the same because vertically opposite angles are equal. So we can say angle AEB equals angle DEC as vertically, hopefully this is big enough to read, opposite angles are equal. Next, where can we go? What can we say? Well, we're going to have to use our circle theorems. We can see that we have A, B, D, and C, which are all points on a circle. We could be thinking of cyclic quadrilateral. We could be thinking angles from the same chord are equal. So, do we have a situation where we have a chord, for example, A to D, and two triangles coming off it? Well, look at this. We can see we have the chord A, let's go yellow. The chord A to D. We have this triangle, and we have this triangle. So that means that these two angles are the same. And the circle theorem there is that angles from the same chord are equal. Angles from the same chord are equal. So we can say that this angle, so to show that it's different, I'm going to do two lines, is equal to this angle. Why? Because angles from the same chord are equal. So I'll put a little line here, and I'm going to say angle ABD equals angle ACD as angles from the same chord are equal. Yeah, yep, you can also say that. Angles in the same segment are equal. Yeah, good. You can also say that. And then, guys, we can do exactly the same thing from BC over here. So we can say we have a triangle here, and we have a triangle here. Bosh, bosh. So this one is going to be the same as this one. So 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. So I'll write that out just for completeness. Angle BAC equals angle BDC. And then I'm just going to write same reason. So now we've shown that all three angles are the same. So this angle is the same as this angle. So one of them are the same. This angle, oh, okay, I'm just not going to draw those lines because it's going to look more confusing. But basically, all three of the angles in the triangle are the same. So we've shown it. Okay. Angles subtended from the same arc are equal. Yep, you can say that. Okay. Guys, really, really good job. If you got that, it's a tough question. It's a tough question. Okay, we are now going to take our 5-minute break in the middle. To anybody who wants to get working on it already, you can get working on question 16. I think reoccurring decimals already came up, right? I think it did. So we're going to start going with the maths again at 25 past. So we're going to get going with the maths again at 25 past. So starting maths again at 14:25. Low-key, I need to rest my voice a bit. And I also want to ask you guys a few questions. And I'm also going to say, guys, I would really, really appreciate it. I'd really appreciate it if you could leave a review. I know to those of you who have been joining a lot, I'm actually going to leave it on this for the break so you guys can read it if you want. So I know for the people who have been joining a lot, you've heard me say before, but guys, the only way I'm going to be able to keep doing these free streams, which I really, really want to do, is if I can get a lot of Google reviews. On the YouTube, you can see that I've pinned a comment which says, leave a review if you found this live helpful. That link will take you straight through to where you leave a little Google review. If you could write a nice message, I'd really appreciate it. And yeah, it helps me out a ton. It helps me out a ton. So I'd really appreciate it, guys. In the meantime, if you have any questions, let me know in the chat. Anybody who does leave a review, I'll give you a little shout out. I can see live actually as people leave reviews. So yeah, VK, let's see. Actually, okay, so I can see a few people have reviewed actually. So thank you, Daisy. Thank you, Tess. Thank you, Dexic. Thank you, Arrow Ibrahim said £5 fish, the best shooter you can find. Wiraz, thank you very much. Sumraf, thank you very much. VK rated 4 stars. I don't want to out you, so I didn't mean to say that, but said, why is it based in Europe? I'm confused. If the 4 stars was for the maths and the teaching, that's fair enough. If it was because of that, then I would appreciate it if you can change it to 5. But the reason, I don't know why it's based in Europe, to be honest. So the reason on the Google thing that it's based in Europe, I'm in the UK at the moment. I'm in England. I'm like um, pretty much in the middle of the country. I'm not German. A lot of people think I'm German based on the location. I think because I didn't put my address on there, so that obviously people couldn't find my address. Like it looks like I'm in Germany because I put like Europe because a lot of people in Europe do GCSE as well. So I wanted it to like show that it covers everything, but it makes it seem like I'm in Germany. But I'm not in Germany. I have nothing to do with Germany. But I do speak a bit of German only because I studied it in school. Only because I studied it in school. Okay. So anybody who could leave a review, guys, I'd really appreciate it. Thank you, Sumra. I can see you just left one. Guys, we're up to 800 reviews. Awesome. Thank you, VK. Thank you, Theo Brown. Thank you, Solomon. Thank you, Leon Taylor. Thank you, Lee. Thank you, Danon. Guys, thank you so much, I appreciate it. Thank you, Thomas. Thank you, Starry. Thank you, Tamara. Thank you, Carson Brown. VK did change it, said goated guy. Come on. Thank you, mate. Um, Guys, I have another question. 2 more questions. Question number 1. I think the answer to this is going to be no, but I'm going to set up a little poll for it. Should I make myself in the corner bigger or is it the perfect size? Because I know I like come in and out a lot, like when I lean forward and back. Um, I don't know if it would be jarring if I was bigger or if I should make it bigger so it's like more personal. I don't know. So should I make myself? I'm going to set up a poll, guys. Bigger or smaller? Because maybe you want me to make it smaller as well. Bigger, smaller, option, same size. Only because some people have been saying I should make it bigger. Some have been saying smaller. So I'd love to set up a little poll, see what you guys think officially. Let's see if anybody else has left a review. I can see a few more have gone up. Hey, thank you guys. Thank you, Sumra. Thank you, Fejiro. Thank you, Mikraj. Thank you, Joshua. Thank you, Adam. Beautiful. Guys, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. Okay, most people are saying same size. 20% saying bigger. Just for reference of what it would look like bigger, uh, this is what it would look like. Maybe it's a bit jarring. I don't know if that changes anybody's votes. You can re-vote. Like, I don't know whether it's more in proportion now or whether I like take up too much room. So everybody can change votes if you want, based on how it looks like now. Should it be bigger, which is like this, or keep it? Okay, most people are saying better before, I think. Yeah, you can change votes, I think. Only because I think bigger can make it more personal. Intelligent Melon said, take up the whole screen for real. Haha, that's a bit too big. Bit too big. Now I think it's... No, now it's too big as well, actually. Neve said I like bigger. Okay, let me make it a little bit smaller. Let's go with this for now. Let's go with this, because I think this still looks good when I lean back. I lean forward. It's not too big. And normally I'm like this, which is pretty good. Yeah, this is okay. I don't know if that made it bigger or smaller, to be honest, but I think we'll just roll with it. But it has gone a little bit up. So I need to move that down. There we go. Perfect. Thank you to everybody who left reviews. I can see we're now on 803. That's amazing. 806. Thank you, Tessie. Appreciate it. Thank you, Meher. Thank you, Maya. Guys, I know I butcher a lot of the names which are not European or British. Sorry. I try my best. Okay. Yeah, true, Alice. Yeah. True. Neve said, Matt, rest your voice. You kept talking raw. Yeah, I did actually. Thank you, Alina. Noah said, what song are you listening to right now? I'm listening to Finesse by Fields. If anybody knows the song, I'll put it in the chat. Speedruns and Tricks. I have listened to it. I like it a lot. Okay. Very good tune. Shri Krishna said, do you listen to Kendrick Lamar? Not really. I don't really like rap music, to be honest. But what I will say is Not Like Us is an absolute banger. It's an absolute banger. I listened to it like too many times, though, in like 3 days. And then now it's like a bit old because I listened to it so much. But it's a tune. It's a tune. Okay, guys, we're going to get going again with the maths. I know we've been breaks for a little bit longer. I just wanted to give people chance to recuperate. Okay, let's get going, guys. I'm pretty sure this came up in paper 1, no? Did 16 come up in paper 1? If it did, I'm going to skip it. Pretty sure it did. Skip. Most people are saying skip. Yeah, it came up. Okay, we're going to skip it. Nice. This, though, we're not going to skip. That's for sure, for sure. Question 17. ONQ is a sector of a circle with center O and radius 11. I'm just going to draw this on to make it a little bit clearer. So, so radius 11. So the whole radius here is 11. We know that A is the point on ON and B is the point on OQ, such that AOB is an equilateral triangle of side length 7. Equilateral triangle, we know that's 7. We know this is 60. Because it's equilateral, all the side lengths are the same. So we know that's 7 as well. And that is all I'm going to do for now. That is all I'm going to do for now. Pranav said, always draw a picky. Well, somebody told me, this was actually A-level stats back in the day. I used to really not like my teacher. I had 2 teachers. One was awesome. One was absolutely terrible. And he used to say, if it's tricky, draw a picky. Which is actually not bad advice, to be honest. But I really did not get on with him well. Quite a few people asking if I'm going live on Monday and Tuesday. Guys, definitely. One thing I'm not sure yet is Monday night, whether I'm going to do 2 lives or 1 live. If I do 1 live, it's going to be a higher live. It's just going to be based on my voice. It's just going to be based on my voice. Because to be honest, my voice is very sore. I don't know if you guys can tell on the chat. Can you tell? Does my voice sound a bit like? Does my voice sound tired, or is it just sound normal? I should have ran that poll as well. A couple of people saying, what's a picky? Just a picture. Nice. See, like that, I just laugh at a comment that I'm not going to read the comment. And then it just looks funny for you guys. Okay. Yeah, exactly, Vampire Side. Just laughing again randomly. Okay. Guys, let's get this done. Let's get this done. Just before, HZ said you don't rest enough. I'm trying my best. I'm trying my best to rest. Pranav said, Ari, you're a wizard, Ari. Most people saying my voice sounds the same. That's great. That's great. Okay, team, what do we think? What are we going to do? Calculate the area of the shaded region as a percentage of the area of the sector ONQ. So we know we're going to have to work out the area of the sector ONQ. So how do we work out the area of the sector? Well, to work out the area of the sector, we're going to do what fraction of the overall circle we have times by what the overall area would have been. So if we imagine this like a big circle, we work out what the area of the overall circle would have been, and then we multiply that by the fraction of the circle that we have. So what fraction of the circle do we have? Well, we know the angle's around a point of 360 degrees. So what fraction do we have? Well, we have 60 out of those 360 degrees. So we have 60 over 360 lots of the overall area. How do we work out the area of a circle? It's pi r squared. So times pi times by our radius of the circle is 11. So times 11 squared. So it's going to be 60 over 60. So sorry, 60 over 360 times pi times 11 squared. I'm going to type that into the calculator and see what we get. 60 over 360 times 11 squared times pi. We type that in and we're going to get 63.355. Now, how do we work out the area of the shaded region? Because that's what we need next. Well, the shaded region is going to be the difference between the overall sector and this equilateral triangle down here. Well, how can we work out the area of the equilateral triangle? Another formula which is in your formula book, the area of a triangle, well, we can either do a half times base times height, but here we don't have the vertical height. So here we can do a half times AB times sine C. So this is a formula to work out the area of a triangle when we have one of the angles and the two side lengths either side. In this case, we know the angle 60. We know the side lengths are both 7. So we have a half times 7 times 7 times sine 60. I'm going to type that into the calculator, 0.5 times 7 times 7 times sine 60. And that as a decimal is going to give 21.218. Now, working out the shaded region, well, the shaded region is going to be the difference between them. So the shaded region is going to be the bigger region of the sector, 63.55, minus a smaller region of the triangle, 21.218. And that's actually 0.355. I just missed writing that out. Let's bring them into the calculator. 63.355 minus 21.218. And we're going to get 15.137. Now we need to work this out as a percentage of the area of the sector. Oh, wait. I typed that in wrong, I think. I wrote 36, guys. My bad, my bad. Yeah. That's why you check your answer to see if it's realistic. So I saw the 15. Yep, you're right, guys. I saw that I typed it in wrong because 63 take 21 is obviously not 15, right? So it should be 63.355 minus 21.218. That's better. 42.217. 137, sorry. 42.137. There we go. So that's better. Now we can work out the percentage. So we're going to do, I'll go back to orange. 42.137 out of the total area, 63.355. And we're going to times it by 100 to work out our percentage. So divide 63.355 times 100. We're going to get equals 66.50, etc., which to one decimal place is going to be 66.5. And that is going to be our answer. Donzi said, how do you know it's 60 degrees? Yep, you're exactly right, because it's equilateral triangles. Well done, guys. Thank you, Ari Patel. Thank you, Pranav. Thank you, GPS. Yeah, good job, guys. Good job. Okay, moving on to question 18. 3 marks up for grabs. Let's see what we can do. Guys, let me know for that previous question. Did we get it? If we didn't, does it make sense now? People in the chat saying we need to make the bases 2. Exactly right. Exactly right. Okay. Those who are saying we make the bases 2, you are absolutely right. Guys, I'm just going to have to turn my mic and camera off for a couple of seconds, and then I'll be back. I'll be gone for about 15 seconds. There we go. Turns out I didn't even have to. Didn't even have, well, I did, but not for long. Okay, team, what do we think? What do we think? Intelligent Melon said, what do you mean by making the bases 2? Yeah, great question. So let me just give a little bit of a hint for this one, and then I'll give a bit more time. So it says, work out the exact value of x given that 16 to the power of 1 over 5 times by 2 to the power of x is equal to 8 to the power of 3 over 4. What we're going to have to do, guys, is we're going to have to write all of these as 2 to the power of something. Once we have them all as 2 to the power of something, we can compare the powers, and that's going to work it out. Rune said bro needed to fart. Luckily, well, if I did, I wouldn't have turned the camera off. I would have just done the mic, you know? Tyler T said, I mean, what is the exact topic? Technically, it's in the laws of indices. Laws of indices. The point is, guys, that I wouldn't have needed to turn the camera off. Okay, guys, let me know. Put ready in the chat when you're ready for me, and we're going to go through it. Okay. Question number 18. What are we going to do? So, step number 1, we're going to rewrite all of these as 2 to the power of something. So 16, how can we write this as 2 to the power of something? Well, 16 is equal to 2 to the power of 4. So we can write this as 2 to the power of 4 to the power of 1 over 5 times by 2 to the power of x. Now, what about writing our 8 as a power of 2? Well, 8 is equal to 2 to the power of 3. So we can write this as 2 to the power of 3 to the power of 3 over 4. Where can we go from there? Where can we go from there? Well, we can use our laws of indices to simplify the left-hand side and simplify the right-hand side. So 2 to the power of 4 to the power of 1 over 5. When we have a base to a power and we raise it to another power, we times the powers together. So we're going to do 4 times by 1 over 5. We're going to get 2 to the power of 4 over 5. We're going to have times by 2 to the power of x is equal to 2 to the power of 3 times by 3 over 4. We can do that on the calculator. It's going to be 9 over 4. Next step, when we have a base to a power and we times it by the same base to another power, what do? We add the powers together. So we can do 2 to the power of 4 over 5 plus x is equal to 2 to the power of 9 over 4. Now, from here, it's far easier to work out what x might be. Well, if 2 to the power of 4 over 5 plus x is the same as 2 to the power of 9 over 4, then it follows that 4 over 5 plus x has to be the same as 9 over 4. Now to work out the value of x, we can minus 4 over 5 from both sides. X is equal to 9 over 4 minus 4 over 5, which is going to be 45 minus 16, 29 over 20. Let me do this on the calculator to just check. 9 over 4 minus 4 over 5. Yep, beautiful. 29 over 20. And that is our answer to this one. Okay. Guys, let me know. How did we find that one? Did it make sense? Did that make sense for anybody who didn't get it? Intelligent Melon said that was difficult, but it makes sense now also. Tyler T said it makes sense now. Hazai Kaida says it makes sense now. Awesome, guys. Well done. See, I'm laughing again. That was at somebody saying I should start a skincare brand. I'm going to start telling you guys now. If I laugh randomly, I'm going to remember to tell you. That was because somebody said I should start a skincare brand and rival James Charles. Like, what? That is why I laughed. Okay, question 19. Question 19. This is another pretty long one, guys. It's quite a tough one. I'm going to have a quick look on the TikTok to check everything's running smoothly. ZanPG said your TikTok mod is banning people from the live. That's okay. If people are messing up the live, the mods are good to ban people. Let me know though. Over on the TikTok, guys on the TikTok, I'm looking at the chat now for the first time in a while. There's 170 of us. Are things running smoothly, or is the mod like trying to mess things up? Because I don't know who it might be. I can probably have everybody not as moderators. Like I can unmod everybody if somebody's messing it up, and then remod some people. Turtle's saying it's running smoothly. Guys, let me know in the chat. Has it been running good? Or does anybody know who's messing it up? Hitman's friend said I will bring order back, Hunk. JKW says I got blocked for no reason. Okay, Get Up Sun said it's smooth. Mighty said it's smooth. Okay, so I think it's all cool. Okay, if it was only one person, then that's okay. I'll make sure that they're unblocked though, guys. Don't worry. Okay, I'm gonna get going now. Back to the YouTube, guys. If you are watching on the TikTok and you want to interact in the chat, come over to the YouTube. That's where I'm focusing on the chat mainly. What I will say though, guys, is the say of all mods is final. So the mods I've chosen because I trust them from joining the streams regularly and contributing well. Anybody who has beef with the decisions of the moderators, come to me. Don't blame the mods, blame me because it's my final say at the end of the day. Cool Robot said, Matt, this paper is hard. Completely agree. Guys, this paper is a hard paper. This paper is a hard paper. Not many questions left though. Okay. Question 19. Drop ready in the chat for me when you're ready, guys, and we'll talk about it. Drop ready when you are ready. Hello, Holly Wade. Okay, maybe I'll talk about that later, Neve. Hey, Maria, good to have you on. Good to have you on. Okay, question 19. It says 2 minus x plus 2 over x minus 3 minus x minus 6 over x plus 3 can be written as a single fraction in the form ax plus b over x squared minus 9, where a and b are integers. We're then asked to work out the values of a and b. In other words, what we need to do is rewrite this as a fraction, as a single fraction, and then see what the number next to the x is and the number on the end. So how are we going to do it? To rewrite this as a single fraction, we're going to have to write them all over a common denominator. So firstly, we can think of this 2 as a fraction as 2 over 1. So we essentially have 2 over 1 minus x plus 2 over x minus 3 minus x minus 6 over x plus 3. Now, how do we write them over a common denominator? Well, if they were numbers, then we'd find a common multiple of all of them. But because they're letters, we can't actually do that. What we need to do is times all of them by whatever we need to have the same factors essentially on the bottom. So we're going to multiply to get x minus 3 times x plus 3 on the bottom. So how do we get x minus 3 times x plus 3 on the bottom of this one? Well, we need to times the 1 by x minus 3 and times it by x plus 3. So on the top, we're going to have 2 times x minus 3 times x plus 3. And on the bottom, we're going to have x minus 3 times x plus 3. Now, in the case of this one in the middle, again, we're going to rewrite it over the same denominator, x minus 3 times x plus 3. But what do we times the top by this time? Well, what did we times the bottom by to get this? We times it by x plus 3 because the x minus 3 was already there. So now on the top, we're going to have the x plus 2 times by the x plus 3 that we times the bottom by. Similarly, for the last one, we're going to write it over x minus 3 times x plus 3. What did we times this bottom by? We times it by x minus 3. So now we're going to have x minus 6 on the top that started there times our x minus 3. Now we're going to expand and simplify, writing as one fraction. So we're going to do, for the first one, we're going to have 2 times by x times x is x squared. All this is going to take up so much space. X times 3 is going to be plus 3x. Minus 3 times x is going to be minus 3x. Minus 3 times 3 is going to be minus 9. Then we're going to have minus, we're going to be minusing all of this. So x times x is x squared. X times 3 is plus 3x. 2 times x is plus 2x. 2 times 3 is plus 6. Minus. Now we're going to do expand this last one, but I'm just going to also, to save some space, guys, I'm going to simplify this now. So 3x plus 3x minus 3x, they're going to cancel each other out. Plus 3x minus 3x. So we can bring these together. It's just x squared minus 9. So that's one thing we can do to save space. And then I'll just do that for now. So final one, x times x is x squared. X times minus 3 is minus 3x. Minus 6 times x is minus 6x. Minus 6 times minus 3 is plus 18. And all of that is going to be over the same denominator of x minus 3 times x plus 3. Okay, next step, let's expand and simplify and see what we get. So we're going to have 2 times x squared is 2x squared. 2 times minus 9. Oh, actually, I'll go back to orange. So 2 times x squared, that's not orange. Yep, 2 times x squared is 2x squared. 2 times minus 9 is minus 18. Then we're going to have minus x squared. And we're going to have minus everything in the brackets. 3x plus 2x is 5x. So we have minus 5x. And then we have minus the 6. Next step, we have minus x squared. And then we're going to have minus 3x minus 6x is minus 9x. We have minus 9x. So we have plus 9x. And we have minus 18, like this. Now that is all going to be over x minus 3 times x plus 3. Simplifying, what are we going to have? Well, 2x squared minus x squared minus x squared. 2x squared minus x squared is going to be 1x squared. Minus x squared, they're going to cancel out. Then we have minus 5x plus 9x. It's going to be plus 4x. That's those two. And then we're going to have minus 18. Minus 18 is minus 36. Minus 6 is minus 42. And all of that is over x minus 3 times x plus 3. Let's look back at the original question. It said to write it in the form over x squared minus 9. So we can also expand these brackets. That's going to give x squared minus 9. So we have this technically. Now, finding the value of a and the value of b. A is the number next to the x, so it's going to be 4. B is the number on the end, and it's plus b. So what do we add? We add minus 9. Oh, no, we don't. I didn't mean that. I meant we add number on the end up here at the top. It's minus 42, right? Beautiful. So this is going to be our answer, 4 and minus 42. I'm going to zoom out there if anybody wants to screenshot this. 5 seconds to screenshot. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, having a quick look at the chat. Guys, talk to me. Did that make sense for anybody? Did anybody get that one right? And more importantly, was there anybody who didn't get it right, but it makes sense for now? Because that's ultimately the best comments we can get. Okay, Salvador said, yummy indeed. I know not many people are saying that. God's Grace says, so good when you went through it. Very nice. Alina said, it makes sense. Yeah, good job. Smooth clips, good work. Speedruns and Edit said, makes sense now. Guys, good work. Tough question. Very tough question. Most people would not know how to do that, for sure. Oh, I'm laughing again. See, look, I just read the comment. If you don't start a skincare brand with me, I'll legally change my name to glycolic acid and whisper product names to strangers in the streets. How can I not laugh when I read that, guys? Come on. Okay, okay. We're gonna, yeah, we're gonna skip this one. Yeah, it's not gonna be too important. This one's gonna be very important though, or very difficult at least. Question 21 next. We're skipping that last one because I just want to prioritize the more important ones. This one, guys, is a real problem-solving question, and it is hard again. Okay. Ari Patel said, I've done this question before. Yeah, it's hard. Ari Patel said, triangles is the only way, guys. Yep, you are right. You are right. Anybody know the song Lolo by Omalay? That is what we have on at the moment. I'm guessing none of you know it. Maybe some of you know it. Let's see. Let me know, chat. Do we know? Do we know Lolo by Omalay? Yeah, it's a good one though if you like your Afro beats. Abdullah Shari says, I guess it's old. It's actually not. I think it probably came out a couple of years ago. It's kind of like chill Afro beats. Okay, guys, a little bit more time. And we're gonna go through it. Gout Gout said it's a banger. Vishnu said opinion on jazz. I do like a bit of jazz every now and again. A little bit of Black Pumas. A little bit of FKJ if you know him. I can put you guys on some good music. Some good music. Well, music that I think is good. You might not think it's good. Music's about taste at the end of the day. See, I'm laughing again. Mariam said, bro looks like he listens to Mozart. How am I not meant to laugh at that? When in reality, my playlist is quite the opposite. Although, actually, some Lodovico Einaudi, I will say, can play a tune or two. Okay. Guys, drop ready when you're ready for this one. I don't want to give too long for it. Zan PG said, bro loves a good yap. Yeah, I do like a bit of a yap. Okay, quite a few people ready. Jay's ready. Okay, let's have a look. The question says, the diagram shows 3 identical circles inside of a rectangle. Each circle touches the other 2 circles and the sides of the rectangle shown in the diagram. The radius of each of the circles is 24 millimeters. Work out the area of the rectangle. Give your answer correct to 3 sig figs. Okay, how are we going to do it? Well, to work out the area of a rectangle, we need to do base times by height. Base times by height. So in order to work this out, we're going to need to be able to work out the width of the rectangle, or the base of the rectangle, and also the height. Now, how about working out the width? Well, we can see that the width consists of 1, 2, 3, 4 of our radiuses exactly. So the width or base, however you want to call it. So the base is going to be equal to 4 times by the radius. We know the radius is 24. So it's going to be 4 times 24, which is 96. Let me check that. 96. So our width here is going to be 96 millimeters. So that's part of the battle. Now, what about working out the height? Now, the problem with the height is we can see that the circles overlap a little bit here. So there's this annoying little section here, which means that the height isn't just 1, 2, 3, 4 of the radiuses. So we need a way to figure it out. How are we going to do it? Well, what we can actually do, guys, is we can draw a little triangle between these points. And the only way to really work this out, to be honest, is through having experience doing exam style questions and knowing the type of things that come up. How can that help as well? We can actually then convert this into 2 right angled triangles. Now, if we can work out the height of this triangle, then we can add it to this, which is, actually, let me change color. Then we can add it to this, which is our radius of 24. And this, which is our radius of 24. Actually, I went a bit too high there, but you see what I mean. So this of 24. So the new question is, how do we work out this height of the triangle? Well, we know that this length here is going to be 2 lots of our radius, because we have a radius here and we have a radius here. So it's going to be 48. It's 2 radiuses. Now we know that this side here is 1 radius, so it's 24. Now we essentially have a right angled triangle, which I'm going to redraw down here. Let me just make that horizontal. Go like this. 24, 48. How do we work out this? Well, now we just have Pythagoras. We have a right angled triangle. We have the hypotenuse, C. Other two are A and B. And we can do A squared plus B squared equals C squared. And this is our hypotenuse, remember, because it's opposite the right angle. So A squared equals B squared plus C squared. Or actually, I wrote that completely wrong. I'm thinking of the wrong rule. A squared plus B squared equals C squared was what I meant to write. So A, B, C, we can do 24 squared plus X squared is equal to 48 squared. We can minus 24 from both sides, or 24 squared. X squared equals 48 squared minus 24 squared. x is equal to the square root of this, which I'm going to type into the calculator. Square root of 48 squared plus 24 squared, which I wrote wrong. 48 squared plus 24 squared. We're going to get 24 root 5. I'll type that in right. Yeah, beautiful. Square root of 48 squared plus 24 squared. Minus. Guys, I typed it in wrong. My bad. Minus. I'm bugging. 24 root 3. Sorry, my bad. Typed it in wrong, so it's going to be 24 root 3. I wrote it down right, but just silly mistake typing it in. So yeah, 24 root 3. So our height is going to be 24 root 3. Sorry if that confused anybody. I'm pretty tired, so I said it wrong and typed it into the calculator wrong. But there, what we actually have to do, minus them. So 40 square root of 48 squared minus 24 squared, we get 24 root 3. So this height is going to be 24 root 3. Now that we have this height here, we can do our 24 plus our 24 plus our 24 root 3. So we're going to do 24 plus 24 plus 24 root 3. That's going to give us 48 plus 24 root 3. So that's going to be the height. Now to work out the overall area, which is what we need to work out, we can do our 96 times by our 48 plus 24 root 3. And we type that into the calculator. We do 96 times bracket 48 plus 24 root 3, close bracket, and we get 8,598.64. We need our answer to 3 significant figures. First significant figure is the 8, second is the 5, third is the 9, fourth is the 8. So we round the 9 up. The 9 turns into a 10, so it actually turns the 5 into a 6. So we get 8600. So there, the 8 turned the 9 into a 10. The 10 turned the 5 into a 6. We were left with 0 there. So our answer is going to be 8,600. And the units is going to be millimeters squared, which they give us. So that is our answer. Guys, talk to me. Let me know, please, in the chat if it didn't make sense before, if you didn't get it, but now it makes sense. Because that is a tough one to understand. Hassan says, Lord. Yep, guys, it's a nasty question. Smooth Clip says, makes sense now. Fantastic. Cosmic Vortex, thumbs up. ZanPG said, best provision YouTuber. Hey, thank you very much. Good work, guys. Good work. I know I made a little silly mistake down there, but hopefully it didn't confuse anybody. Okay, let's move on. How many more questions? Only 2 more questions, guys. Let's clutch this paper out. Question 22. I will just do, and I'm going to give 1 minute actually. And then question 20, sorry, yeah. I'll give 1 minute for this, then I'll go through it. Then we'll go through question 23, and that'll be our final question. Ooh. What topic is this, guys? Let me know. Aesthetic Salesman says, I got it. Thank you so much. Hey, good to hear. Good to hear. HZ said, I heard that crack. Sorry if it didn't sound great. A little bit of a tight neck. Sorry, Samra. Sorry, Samra. Okay, guys, let's get it done. Let's get it done. Question 22. It says find an expression for the nth term of the sequence. Greek gal, please stop putting stuff about skincare in the chat. So yeah, find the nth term of the sequence. Step number one, we're going to find the common difference. From 4 to 11, we plus 7. From 11 to 22, we plus 11. From 22 to 37, we plus 15. 37 to 56, we plus 19. We don't have a common difference, so we're going to find the second difference. From 7 to 11, we plus 4. 11 to 15, we plus 4. 15 to 19, we plus 4. What's a type of sequence? It is a quadratic sequence because we have a common second difference. This number here, the common second difference, tells us the number next to the n squared. All that we have to do is we have to halve that. So because it's a 4, our number next to the n squared in the nth term is going to be a 2. Next step, we're going to rewrite our sequence. But first, we're going to write our term numbers. So first term, second term, third term, fourth term, fifth term. We're going to write our sequence underneath: 4, 11, 22, 37, 56. And now what we're going to do is we're going to minus this. We're going to minus this from our sequence. Now, what's this? This is 2n squared. N, remember, guys, is our term number. So the first term squared is going to be 1, times 2 is going to be 2. So for the first term, we do 1 squared, which is 1 times 2. Second term, we're going to do 2 squared, which is 4, times 2, which is 8. Next term, we're going to do 3, our term number, squared, which is 9, times 2 is 18. Next up, 4 squared is 16, times 2 is 32. 5 squared is going to be 25, times 2 is going to be 50. Next step, what can we do? We're going to have to subtract that from our original sequence. What's it going to be? 4 minus 2 is 2. 11 minus 8 is 3. 22 minus 18 is 4. 32 minus 7 is 5. 56 minus 50 is 6. Finally, to get our nth term, we're going to find the nth term of this sequence and tag it onto the end there. How do we find the nth term of a linear sequence? We find the common difference. Here it's going to be 1, so 2 plus 1 is 3, plus 3 plus 1 is 4, 4 plus 1 is 5, 5 plus 1 is 6. That's going to tell us the number next to the n, so we have 1n. And then we look at how do we get from this common difference to the first term. From 1 to 2, we plus 1. So we're going to have 1n plus 1. Now we bring them together to get our nth term. Our nth term is going to be these two together. It's going to be 2n squared plus n plus 1. Guys, if you got that one really nicely done, if you used a different method, that's completely fine. If you use the ABC method, that's also going to work. Let's have a look. Guys, to anybody who's in year 10, welcome to the live. You're very welcome. I see Plaything saying you're in year 10 and you're revising with a dead face. My friend, revising in year 10 is a very good idea, whether it's for end of year exams, whether it's for mocks, whatever it's for, mate, start early. It's well worth it. Don't listen to anybody saying that you shouldn't start now. What actually happened is they didn't start early. Now they want to project it onto you that you shouldn't start early because they didn't and they wish they did. So that's what I'll say. Okay. Vampire Sight said, I wish I revised in year 10. Yeah, absolutely. Neve says, year 10's well done. Yeah, exactly. Obviously, the stream is mainly for year 11s. We're crushing our exams, guys. Don't get it twisted. But if you are in year 10, you're more than welcome. Okay. Question 23, our final question for 3 marks. Let's see what we can do. Let's see what we can do. And if you haven't already, guys, and if you're not going to do this question especially, I would really, really appreciate it if you can leave a Google review. I'm going to keep the stream running a little bit at the end for anybody who wasn't here earlier or hasn't had time to leave one yet. We're going to do a little bit of a chill Q&A, maybe 5-10 minutes to de-stress. But if you're not going to do this question, maybe take the time to leave a quick little review. Couple of people saying that this has been a horrible question paper, guys. This is a really hard paper. This is a really hard paper. Question number 23. Quite long for a 3 marker, I will say. Let's see what we can do. Okay. The question says L is a circle with equation x squared plus y squared equals 4. P is this point on L. Find an equation of the tangent to L at point P. What do we need to find the equation of a tangent? Well, we need the gradient of the line, and we need a point that it goes through. We know that it goes through this point, so actually what we need is the gradient. As soon as we have the gradient, we can sub that point in, find the value of C. If we were going to sketch, I'm not even going to bother sketching it actually. So how do we find the gradient? Well, actually, no, I will sketch it. I'll just make it a bit clearer. There we go. P is the point 3 over 2, 7 over 2. Let's just say it's roughly here. Our line is going to go like this. How are we going to find the gradient of the tangent? Well, we know that a radius meets a line, or a tangent, I should say, at a right angle. So we know that's a right angle. What does that mean? Well, the radius meets the tangent at a right angle. And that means that this line, the radius, is perpendicular to this line. If we can work out the gradient of this line, then we can do the negative reciprocal to get the perpendicular gradient, exactly as you said, Yashi. So, what's the gradient of this line from the origin to P? Well, to work out the gradient, we can do the change in y divided by change in x. So change in y divided by change in x. I'm just writing it shorthand like that. The change in y, in the y direction, we go from 0 to root 7 over 2. So the change in y is root 7 over 2. What's the change in x? In the x direction, we go from 0 to 3 over 2. So the change in x is 3 over 2. We can type this into the calculator. It's going to give us root 7 over 3 is what it's going to come out as. Let me just double check that to check no silly mistakes in my mind. Fraction over a fraction. Root 7 over 2 over 1.5. Yep, root 7 over 3. So we have the gradient of OP. Our gradient, so the gradient of our line is going to be the negative reciprocal of this. How do we find the negative reciprocal? We make it negative and we flip it. So it's going to be negative 3 over root 7. Negative 3 over root 7. Now, technically, that's not rationalized. So if we want to, doesn't say that we have to. So actually, I won't. Yeah, so gradient is negative 3 over root 7. Where can we go from there? Well, we know that the general equation of a straight line is y equals mx plus c. So we have y equals negative 3 over root 7 x plus c, because m is the gradient. Now we can sub our points in to work out the value of c. So we know when x is 3 over 2, y is root 7 over 2. So we know that root 7 over 2 is equal to negative 3 over root 7 times by 3 over 2 plus c. So We can now calculate the value of c. I'm going to simplify the right-hand side first, which I will do on the calculator. That's going to make it clearer. So 3 over the square root of 7, square root 7. Let me just type that in again. 3 over the square root of 7 times by 1.5. That's going to be 2 roots. Oh, God, I typed it in wrong again, guys. 3 over root 7 times 1.5 is going to give that. So root 7 over 2 equals negative 9 root 7 over 14 plus c. Now I'm going to add that to both sides to work out the value of c. So c is equal to root 7 over 2 plus 9 root 7 over 14, which I'm going to type into the calculator. Fraction root 7 over 2 plus, click the wrong button again, root 7 over 2 plus fraction 9 root 7 over 14, like that. I'm going to click equals. Hopefully it's going to give a reasonable number. 8 root 7 over 7. Not nice at all. 8 root 7 over 7. So now I have my value of c. And guys, we are almost there with the question. All that we have to do is put our parts together. So we're going to have y equals negative 3 over root 7x plus 8 root 7 over 7. 8 root 7 over 7. Guys, that is our final question of the day. Very well done if you got that. Let me know. Did the description make sense? Was there anybody who didn't get it, but it made sense now? Guys, let me know. Please let me know, because that was a lot of effort. I can't lie. I'm tired. I'm tired at the end of this session, and that was effort to go through. Holly Wade says, yay, we finished. Yep, guys, congratulations. You know what we do at the end of every session. Guys, we throw a little party, a little moment of self-appreciation. So please spam the chat full of as many good vibe emojis as we can. We want dancer emojis, disco emojis, party emojis. If you're on it, the lightning bolt emojis. Guys, that's what we do at the end of every session. Revising is important. Revising is important. But it is also important to appreciate the work that you're putting in. Guys, it's not easy, especially this half term. It's hard to focus. It's hard to concentrate. When the weather's so nice outside, you want to go out, you want to chill, you want to hang out with your mates, you want to play football, you want to play video games. There's so much stuff you want to do. None of it involves revision. However, despite that, you're out here putting in the work. So guys, well done, well done, well done. Take a moment, close your eyes, and give yourself a pat on the back. It's important that you do that. Otherwise, I'm just sitting here looking silly doing it myself. Now, I can see people spamming the chat. Guys, keep the party running, keep the party rolling. Now, before we call it a day, we're going to do a little bit of a chilled out Q&A. If you have any questions, fire away. I'm going to be here for probably another 5 minutes. Guys, I'm also going to give another little reminder to please, please, please leave a little review if you haven't already. I would really appreciate it. So you can see the link is pinned in the chat. Over on the YouTube, if you're watching on the TikTok, it's on my profile. It's my link in bio. The only way I'm going to be able to keep doing the free live streams, which I really want to be able to do, is if I can keep getting these reviews up. So guys, I would really appreciate it if you can. A couple of people have trolled and left 1-star reviews, which has pulled the average down. So that's super annoying. So if anybody could comment and pull it back up, that would could leave a review and pull it back up, that would be absolutely amazing. I can see Daniel's just left one, said very informative. Thank you very much. If you could leave a nice message with it as well, that would be amazing. But if you just want to do the stars, then that's cool as well. Intelligent Melon said we have to counteract the trollers £1 fish. Yeah, referring to the fact that somebody commented £1 fish and rated it 1 star, which is very random. But anyway, people are people. People are people, but we can overpower it. Okay, guys, now I'm gonna rest my voice. Now I'm gonna rest my voice because I need to have it for tomorrow evening and for Tuesday evening. And a good tune just came on. A couple of people are asking about my dog's name. My dog's name is Woody, and he is an Irish Terrier. So I knew that question was coming next. And I'm going to take a good sip of water. Ah, Jay said, what fragrance do you use? Interesting question. I do like a bit of fragrance. I do like a bit of fragrance. Um, I have a few different ones, honestly. Um, I'm not going to reveal which ones I use, but I will say 4 different ones at 4 different price points because a couple of the ones that I like are pretty expensive. But I know, and obviously when you're young, you're not going to be spending a lot of money on fragrances, that's for sure. One that I would recommend, what I used to wear when I was doing my GCSEs, was actually Mont Blanc Explorer. Very versatile. I can put it in the chat. I know I won't put it in the chat, but yeah, Mont Blanc Explorer. Very versatile. Nice. Smells a little bit like Aventus. So yeah, Mont Blanc Explorer. Um, yeah, Pumpkin said yes. Mont Blanc Explorer is peak. Slightly more expensive. One that I also like very much. It's a little bit more niche. It's called Hermes H24. So yeah, that's one I like very much as well. It's slightly less well known. Lincoln, you said there's one girl at school who spends like £100 a month on fragrances. Guys, it's important. It's important. I'm gonna say, guys, if you don't already, you guys are getting older or whatever. I think fragrance is very nice. I think fragrance is very nice. So yeah, Mont Blanc Explorer, Hermes H24. It's a bit more expensive. There's one called Creed Himalaya that I like a lot. That one is expensive, so it's probably not many people because especially when you're young, you're not going to be spending much money on this stuff. But Creed Himalaya is nice. And then one that I found discovered recently is called Amage Reflection. Um, Vampire Site said I'm starting a collection of fragrances. Very nice. Very nice. Ombre Nomad Louis Vuitton is quite nice. Good shout, Noah. I think that's the Louis Vuitton one you're on about. Holly Wade says, what about Gucci? I'm not familiar with the Gucci ones, the Gucci fragrances, to be honest. Okay, Vishnu said favorite clothing outlet. Okay, guys, if we're gonna go down that route, I can say. So my number one piece of advice, or what I would say, is no brands. Guys, get these logos off yourself. No brands, no big flashy logos. You're not billboard advertising for the brand, right? You're not like advertising for Gucci or advertising for whatever brand is or Hugo Boss or whatever. So for me personally, no logos, no branding, very minimal. It's more about how the clothes fit. That's what I would say. Brand wise, depends what you're buying. Also depends how much you want to spend. So it's difficult. Zara does pretty good stuff. I don't wear much Zara, but that's kind of a nice option. They do good. Like they don't use the best fabrics, but they do good fits quite often. They make clothes that fit quite well. Massimo Dutti, I like a lot. It's a little bit more expensive, but I know a lot of people when they're teenagers buy like designer polo shirts. That's what we used to do. Like we used to buy like polo shirts and this kind of thing. You're gonna be better off no branding, nice and minimal. Brand called Massimo Dutti, and then there's a brand called Reese as well, which is very nice. Oh yeah, guys, I didn't actually check the reviews. How many more people have reviewed? Okay, we got a few more. We got a few more. Nowhere near as many as earlier. Thank you, Tasleen, who left the review. Thank you, Jack Heather. Thank you, Havin. Thank you, Kay, very much. Thank you, Angel. Thank you, Hosea. Thank you, Riyadh. Yeah, thank you, guys. Oh, yeah, guys, do you want me to put a couple of people asking for the playlist again? I'll put the link in there. There we go. So that is the link to the playlist, guys. That is the link to the playlist. A lot of people were requesting the music that I'm listening to during the lives. So while I'm doing live streams, I'm normally listening to Afro beats, to be honest. Um, Mainly because it's got good energy. It's got good energy. I like a lot of different genres, Afro beats while I'm doing the lives, but also, to be honest, every genre apart from rock and rap. Some rock, like very light rock, and very light rap, can be okay. But in general, apart from those, I like a lot. Maisie says, "Hey, I love the Afro beats." Holly Wade, nice. Issa Butt says, "I'm still here, don't worry." Noah said, "Adios, sir. Thank you for your time. My pleasure." Vampire Site said, "How many countries have you been to?" Probably about 25, maybe 30, probably 25. I haven't been away for a long time though, guys. I've been in the well, I went away once last year actually. But I did bit more traveling when I was younger. Um, so after I finished my A levels, I did interrailing. So I went with my mate. Me and my best mate went around. We started in Italy, then went to Slovenia, then went to Croatia, Hungary. Uh, where else? Hungary. We went to Germany. We went to the Netherlands, so Holland or Amsterdam. We went to the Czech Republic. So we went around on the train, interrailing. That was awesome. I definitely recommend it when you're a little bit older. I did a volunteering trip in Kenya during my A levels. So I went and stayed in Kenya for a month. A few family holidays to different countries. Actually, my dad used to work in America, so I've been to America a few times. And then yeah, a few other countries, few other countries. Stories for another time. Abdullah said, "iPhone or Android?" I'm an iPhone man. I'm an iPhone man. Hey, they're all on the playlist, Gal Gal. Or maybe they're not on the playlist, but I know them all. Locations, very good tune by Burna Boy, Unavailable by Davido. I don't actually know Bloody Samaritan. I don't know if I can say that, but it's the name of the song, guys. Name of the song. Um, Hassan Mohammed says, "Child of the world for real," hence the ambiguous accent. So yeah, guys, a lot of people wonder where I'm from. I'm from actually Derbyshire. The reason I speak like this is because I've got lots of friends from different countries. So I went to uni in London, and of my five closest friends, like one's from Turkey, one's half from Hong Kong, no, half from Malaysia, half from Australia, one's from Armenia, and I also have friends from Argentina, Spain, and a bunch of different places. Um, so I've picked up a whole mix of different accents. Um, Like some people think I'm Australian or South African. Some people think I'm from like Sweden or somewhere. Or apparently I sound like I'm Indian as well sometimes. Zero said Armenia mentioned. Yep. So one of my best mates is from Armenia. Wild said, okay. Maisie said, "Do you remember your year 11 summer?" Um, I do remember it. I do remember it. Not clearly, to be honest. For some reason, my memory is really bad with like a long time ago, with like experiences. My memory is really good for like studying and stuff, but life wise, I don't know. I forget a lot of stuff, to be honest. But I do remember it, guys. Year 11 summer is blessed. Year 11 summer is blessed. So you guys have got a really nice time ahead. You just got to get through this next few weeks, and you're going to be super happy on the other side. By the way, that's low key why it's worth putting in the work now, because you want to be in your year 11 summer enjoying it, knowing that you gave it your best shot, knowing that you gave it your all. So yeah. A couple of people asking for the skincare routine. I use a face wash and a moisturizer. Um, Also from the same brand as the hair stuff. So uh, face wash from Aesop, and a moisturizer from Kiehl's. So it's quite expensive, to be honest. Some people saying my skin is flawless, guys. It's the camera. Let me tell you, it's the camera and well, I mean, there's not very much lighting, but a big window in front of me. So thank you, but depends a lot on this, to be honest. Mr. Boss says, "Do you like funk?" I think that's like Brazilian. Someone's saying that's Brazilian house music. I think I've not really listened to much of it, to be honest. Somebody's saying, "Are you American?" Nope. I'm from the UK. Okay, guys, I think we're gonna call it a day there. The one who knocked said, "Sir, why are you motivated to do this?" Um, because of you guys, to be honest. Because of you guys. Like, look at the chat. Look at the chat. Um, it's a conversation for a different day. Like the a lot of the different aspects of it, but mainly, guys, if I can help, the way I see it is I can either spend 2 hours, for example, this afternoon doing something which is like for only me. Like maybe I can go to the gym or I can do whatever, do something. Or I can do this stream, which is going to help hundreds, maybe thousands of people, eventually, maybe hundreds of thousands of people. That's the way I see this going. That's the way I want it to go. So it kind of feels selfish if I could do this and I don't do it. You see what I mean? It's like my belief depends about, different religions, different beliefs, all these different things. But my belief is that you should try and take as much responsibility and help as many people as you can. So anything you can do to help people, you should try and do. In my case, this is something I can do. This is something I can do. And hopefully it's helping a few people at least. So that's kind of the motivation. That's the motivation. Yeah, Greek gal, please stop spamming, otherwise I'll have to mute. And Ghost of Molly said W in the chat. HZ said, ciao, Matt. See you tomorrow. I'm going to go sleep. I'm really exhausted. You should go rest too and continue drinking your warm water with lemon and honey. Thank you very much, HZ. Enjoy your rest. I'm going to do exactly that. Hassan, thank you for reminding me. I'll reply just now. The thing I can say is would by any chance 9 till 10 work? I know it's quite late, but that's what I'm going to say. Kaba says adios. Mariam said, take anti-allergic, please. Can you tell, guys, that I'm swollen up? I have taken it already, but Tess said, thank you, sir, as always. I'm going now. Awesome. Guys, seems like a lot of us are clocking off. I'm going to say adios, guys. Have a fantastic rest of the day. Good luck with any revision that you have. Thank you, Gerald. Thank you, Ghost of Marley. Thank you, Wembley. Vishnu, respect. Tom says, ciao, ciao, adios, my friend. Abdullah says, Sir, Messi or Ronaldo? Depends on the question. Depends on the question. Overall, there's no response. Thank you, Vampire Sight. Thank you, Mr. Boss. Adios, Vale. Neve says, chus, chus, adios. Thank you, Rishi. Adios, Mohammed. Vale, adios. Lincoln You says, chus. Berserk says, bye-bye, guys. We're going to be back tomorrow evening for our day before the day before. Paper 2. Guys, hasta luego. Arrivederci. Ciao, ciao, ciao. Al presto. I'll catch you tomorrow. Have a fantastic day. Bye-bye.